Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 34 of the Degenerates Podcast.
Hello.
This episode, we have a very special guest, Mike.
Hey, I'm here. I've never been on this podcast before. It's so shitty.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Fucking weird.
I've never been on a podcast either. This is my first time. I don't even know whose podcast this is, but we're taking over this week.
Yeah, no. Who the fuck cares, dude? It's our podcast. We'll take it.
Yeah, from now on, it's going to be me, Mike, and Tony. And
We're the podcast pirates.
Yeah.
Yar.
That's the new name of the podcast. The Podcast Pirates. From now on, that's the name of the podcast.
We'll plunder your fucking... I don't know what you call those guys. Whatever.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 34 of the Podcast Pirates.
Whoa.
It's, Mike brought in some ideas.
Yeah, I got some ideas, dude. So, alright, here's a weird thing. So I've been looking into this thing called shamanism. And do you know what shamanism is, Liam?
No, what is it?
Shamanism is, from my understanding, the oldest practice of basically addiction management, whereby the shaman becomes the shaman because the shaman learns how to manage his own addictions and his own bad behavior and all of this other bad stuff that he does. He learns to manage that. And once he does...
Yeah, and they're like, not just addictions, it's like...
Yeah, it's like all these mental health problems.
Yeah, and any sort of like bad urges or whatever. You can have urges to do something bad without being addicted to it.
Oh, yeah. Yep. That's what happens a lot with extroverted sensation type. They just like want the sensation. They're just like, it doesn't matter what it is, they just want it. So like they're kind of like it's kind of like morally ambiguous to a certain extent with them.
So you're saying that the extroverted types are worse than the introverted types?
No, I'm saying that they do different things and they think differently. Because every type, I think every type is useful. I think every type is useful for something. Like extroverted sensation types, they go out and do shit. They can just go. And I can't go. I don't know how to just go. But they can do it, so, I'll leave it to them.
So, why do you want to talk about shamanism, Mike?
Because it seems to me to be a way to create your own religion. And this is what I think we actually need right now. I don't think we need to go back. I don't think we need to go back anymore. I think we can go forward with shamanism, and we can create our own religion with shamanism. I think shamanism is the model.
Shamanism is already a thing. We don't have to create it.
No, but it's not anywhere. It's pretty much like the basic oldest religion. We can think about it that way. And it's used to create new religion. It can create new religion. Because shamanism is intensely intertwined with psychedelics, as well as ecstasy. Like anything that can produce ecstasy is like, yeah, okay, that can be shamanism. So hitting your head against a wall, that can cause ecstasy. Doing some rituals, that can be ecstasy. Doing drugs, that can cause ecstasy too.
Yeah, except the drug ecstasy...
Is it like actually good?
Is kind of addictive. So that kind of goes against the...
Not the psychedelics.
Ecstasy is addictive.
No, it causes... These experiences causes ecstasy. So
There's a drug called ecstasy.
There is a drug called ecstasy, but that's not the drug...
That's the thing I'm talking about right now.
That's not what I'm talking about. Because ecstasy is a man-made drug, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Well, I guess.
like it's like
it was
packaged
made
in like pill
by
form,
people,
so I'm pretty sure.
but it was
that
made from
it's not
like the mold of some plant.
Probably something like that. But yeah, essentially, shamans just
But
try to create.
it doesn't, like, the way that I look at it, it doesn't really matter whether it was man-made or not, because it's all natural.
I mean,
I don't see the difference really between man-made and natural.
But I don't know, dude. I feel like editing nature. I feel like editing it and like doing shit like this, like packaging pills. That's probably like you just like basically leave out nature altogether. It's like, I don't care what you think you are. I'm gonna change you. You're now fucking drugs, bitch.
Yeah, but humans happened naturally, so then anything that we do would be something that we would naturally do. We're still part of nature. That's what I'm trying to say.
Just because we're a part of nature doesn't mean we're not, going against it. Like, why do you think people are so upset at like global warming? And they're like, big companies cause global warming because they're big.
Well, it's because people don't want to die. That's natural too.
Yeah.
And it's natural for people wanting to make money, and they keep doing global warming.
Money, I don't know. Is it natural to make money? Is it a natural human survival mechanism to make money?
It seems like it. For all of like written human history, we've had some form of money or currency that we buy things with, even if it's just barter system, like you just buy cows with weed or something. I don't know what people were doing.
But is money the thing we should be basing our entire society on? Because that's what it's based on right now.
That's what it's been based on forever, pretty much.
No, I think there was another side.
Well, if it wasn't based on money, then it was based on the barter system.
I think there was money, but I think there was also religion. I think these two things have to be in tandem.
Money and religion?
Well, yeah, because you have one thing that's been here since the dawn of humankind. You got money. And then you also have another thing that's also been here since the dawn of humankind. Religion.
There's a lot of things that have been here since the dawn of humankind.
Mm-hmm. But these specific things seem to be social organization tools that work. And religion seems to me to actually work. To make people feel meaning in their lives. Like, you see all these people now in the Amazon River, and they're like, oh shit, I fucking love nature, I fucking love my entire life. Nature tries to protect me and shit like that. It's like, whoa, cool. I wish I could believe shit like this guy believes. This guy's fucking insane.
Which guy, the shaman?
The guy who, like, came from the Amazon. Okay, you hear a lot about this shit too, okay? Coincidences. Look up, like, fucking TED Talk and just look at all these fucking TED Talks with people who are like, dude, I got, like, hallucinations and then it changed my life. It's like this one girl, she had, like, a baby, or she couldn't have a baby. And then for so long, she just couldn't have a baby. And she wanted a baby really bad. She was obsessed with having a baby. And then she started getting hallucinations. She saw like a dead duck embryo on her. Like, she hallucinated a dead duck embryo and then talked to like a mother duck and did all this crazy shit and then went on a journey to like find like an adopted kid, and they adopted a kid. And then that night when the voice asked her, would you actually, if you were pregnant, if you could get pregnant on your own, would you still adopt? And that was the question the voice asked, and she said yes. And then that night
Did they get pregnant on their own?
They got pregnant right after that happened. They conceived naturally that night, after years of not being able to. After they adopted their, like, new son. And so I think this kind of thing happens a lot. I think that people start to notice coincidences, and then that leads them somewhere else. And I think it is related with mental illness.
Wait, mental illness is related to coincidences?
Yeah, mental illness is related. Not mental illness in its entirety. It's only a specific instance of mental illness. This specific instance of mental illness is called shamanistic blackness. Now, what that is basically when the shaman has to confront his own addictions and behaviors and mental illness himself.
But he should have already confronted those things if he's going to be a shaman, you said.
Yeah, but I mix these things up. The shaman initiate has to confront his blackness before he can be a shaman.
Okay.
Because fixing all your own addictions, that's a prerequisite for being able to solve other people's addictions and things like that, and mental illness.
Oh yeah, I mean, you can't help other people if you can't help yourself, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, it's a tale as old as time. It's so old. We don't even know why we think this, but we do. I think that shamanism is the oldest. See it. Yeah, we can see it. So I think shamanism is the oldest form of not only psychotherapy, but also I think it's where religion first kind of like got going. Because when you have these types of experiences, you experience, you know, the unveiled unconscious, and then it comes out, and it's like, oh, cool, all this stuff. And then you can notice certain commonalities between people's trips, and I think these commonalities become gods over time.
Shamanists are pagan, though.
Shamanists aren't all pagan. Shamans can be from Amazon, they can be from, I think, Mongolia. They're from all over the world.
What are you talking about?
Shamans. They're from all over.
That doesn't mean they aren't pagan.
No, they can't. I guess they can be pagan.
Do you know what paganism is?
No, actually. You know what? I'm fucking retarded. Educate me, please. Make my brain bigger.
It's basically you're a pagan if you follow a belief system that doesn't include a god.
What? So did paganism worship like saints and things like that?
I'm not sure if they do that. I know that they don't worship gods.
No gods.
And or no, sorry. It's a religion other than one of the main world religions. So yeah.
What? What the fuck does that even mean? Religion other than the main world religions. We're not part of the mainstream. That's what they're saying right there. It's like,
yeah, but a lot of the mainstream don't like the not mainstream.
I guess. Poor paganism.
Yeah.
Anyways, but essentially, yeah, these so shamans are known to go into trance and things like that. They're known to essentially speak their experience or like manifest their experience some way. So like they'll do that in spontaneous. No, I wish it was that awesome. But they'll just have spontaneous verbalizations, and then that's called like speaking in tongues and shit like that. And it's well documented that taking psilocybin mushrooms can cause you to just have spontaneous small mouth noises like just come out. And it's like, this could be where language first came out, because we just made these small mouth noises. These psychedelics made it so that we could made it so that we like spontaneously spoke, but also so that we want to share and reflect upon our own experience, and we have to do that with language.
I'm not sure if psilocybin evolved vocal cords in us and shit.
Oh no, but I think
I think we evolved speech because I think it was part of evolving intelligence.
How would speech be related to intelligence? Just social behavior?
Yeah, I think that if we couldn't talk, then we wouldn't be as smart. I think that speech is probably one of the most important tools that we use. If we weren't able to communicate with each other, then we would not be as smart.
Yeah, no. But this is what I'm like. I think that we probably develop language like in tandem with this.
With psychedelics.
Yeah, because psychedelics they stimulate Broca's area. That's what they do. Right? Let me double check that to make sure.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying that psychedelics don't make you say, like, magic mushrooms won't make you say weird stuff and make weird noises, but I don't think that they had anything to do with developing language or speech.
I guess it's literally impossible to prove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's not true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking goddamn. It's been super hard to actually be fucking like right about shit. Do you know why? Because I fucking started reading Terrence McKenna's book. Terrence McKenna thinks exactly like me. And he jumps from one thing to another. And I don't perceive that jump all the time. So I basically can just follow along. Like completely. And it's like, okay, yeah, completely makes sense, everything. But it doesn't, because a few pieces and times, a few times I'm like, wait, that's bullshit. And it's like, you're bullshitting me right now. And it's like, yeah. Fucking Terrence, I think that I'm just another Terrence McKenna. I'm fucking far out. I'm fucking insane. The only difference between him and I is that I'm stupid and he's, like, kind of smart.
I don't know. There's probably more differences than you'd think.
I mean, yeah.
That's something that whenever I see myself in someone, then I'm like, oh, I'm exactly like this person. Then as time goes on, I start seeing more and more differences. Then I'm like, oh, I think I just like some of the stuff this guy was saying, and I'm not exactly like him at all.
See, that's what I do. I jump from association to, like, another one. And it's like, no logic, fucking nothing. It's just like, I am this. And I say it how it is, but how it is in my brain can be wrong.
Yeah, most of the stuff... Well, I said I am bread.
Oh.
Then I was gonna say, most of the stuff that people believe is wrong.
What evidence do you have to back that up?
Hello?
Or why do you think that? Are you talking right now? You're not talking at all.
Well, I said hello.
Oh, now I can hear you.
Yeah, okay, so did you hear the first thing that I said?
No.
I can't remember what it was.
Well, it looks like it's lost forever. It'll be in the podcast, so it's fine.
Yeah, it'll be in the podcast, but now people are going to want to hear your answer to my question.
Well, it's wrong. I'll just say right now. There you go, it's wrong.
Oh, yeah, thanks for saying that. It reminded me of what I said. I said I think that most of what people believe is wrong.
Yeah, that's wrong.
That's wrong?
How do you, like, classify... Like, because of... Like, so logically, yeah. Logically, things that people believe do not match up with the real world. Like, almost never. That's because they stay in their little bubble where they know the real world. They know their world. They don't know anything fucking else. They just know their own experience.
Like, scientist will know everything about his sciencey stuff, but then they won't know anything about
Talking to girls, yeah.
Oh no, they know how to talk to girls. They're sciencey. They know all about that sort of thing, but they don't know how to fish.
Alright.
They don't know how to play basketball.
Dude, I wish I knew how to play basketball.
I know how to play basketball. You dribble the ball and you throw it through the hoopy thing.
That sounds complicated.
Well, it gets complicated when there's other people trying to do the same thing you're doing.
Oh god, there's other people?
Oh yeah, there's other people in the game.
No thank you.
So yeah, you can know a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you can know a lot of stuff.
There's so much stuff that probably you know more stuff that is incorrect than stuff that is correct.
Oh yeah, that's probably what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know more stuff about like the like abstract world. Wait, you wait. You think you know what's going on in the world of ideas, but you actually don't.
Well, nobody does.
I can try.
Not completely. Nobody can ever know completely. Everybody has their own little piece of the puzzle.
Dude. Man, I think shamanism is like a big piece. Big piece of the puzzle. That's what I think.
Well, if you think that it's a big piece of the puzzle, then to you it's a big piece of your puzzle. But to a lot of people, they don't even know what shamanism is.
I know, it's fucking terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, these guys don't even know. Do you know that so you know the default mode, the default network, yeah?
I know the default skin in Minecraft.
Nice. So I think it's like basically a loop between your cingulate cortex and your prefrontal cortex. And what that does is that basically creates consciousness or something. It creates your you, the notion of you.
The notion of me.
Yeah, the notion of you.
So it's like what was it, the ego?
Basically. Essentially. This is what this brain structure represents. And when you take psychedelics,
it goes away.
It pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. And so I think that this thing basically just functions to just cut out perception. Like, because there's only a few things that are actually needed for your survival. So you just don't pay attention to everything else. But if you start to pay attention to everything else going on in your own brain, then you get to, these psychedelic experiences.
Experiences?
Yeah, well, psychedelic experiences.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You just cut out for a little while there.
Whoops. Damn technology. Damn you, technology. Frickin'.
So, do you recommend shamanism to people?
I recommend shamanism to people. Go to your local shaman, give him like a hug and be like, you're pretty good. And so I think shamanism comes out like in modern society. I think it's here. I don't think we can ever like actually get rid of it.
Why not?
Because it's just part of personality.
Shamanism?
Yeah, shaman. Because when eventually people start to get when it's like a personality thing. It's like certain people start to get these visual or hallucinations. Basically, they start to get delusions and things like that. But then if they just continue on with this thing, they just continue trying to work through it themselves, or with the help of someone who knows what they're doing. That is, like a psychotherapist. If they do this, then they come out on the other side better. But if they stop this process, then they end up in the psychiatric ward. Hopped up on drugs. They have to finish their journny. That's what this is.
That's every single person on the planet?
Every single person who has all the prerequisites for being a shaman.
Oh. Well, I thought we were recommending shamanism to everybody.
Well, shamanism
I thought the prerequisite was just that you had to
not
give
everyone,
up all of your vices and shit.
No, not everyone can be like actual shaman.
Why not?
Because actual shaman is hard job and not everyone wants hard jobs.
What do you mean it's a hard job?
So on top of a regular job, you're also the shaman. So you have a regular job, but then you're also the shaman. You're also the medicine man. You also are in charge of healing everyone. Spiritually. And so it's double the work, basically. And so not everybody got time for that. So the shaman actually is like, basically it's just like a week, not like weekly, but like a ritualistic therapy session with drugs. Or with ecstasy experiencing things. Because like some people...
being a shaman is all about doing drugs every weekend. Because I know a lot of shamans.
help managing other people's addictions. And like mental health. Sometimes...
My mom's a shaman and she doesn't do any of those things.
What does she do in place of that?
I have no clue. I don't pay attention to what she's doing all the time. I just talk to her sometimes.
Nice.
She, every once in a while, she goes on these retreats up north for like a few weeks, and they go canoeing all over the place and shit. But it's this like shaman retreat thing.
Oh yeah. Getting in touch with your nature side.
Yeah.
Yeah. It can just be a relationship with nature. That's how it can come out. But I think it can come out better. I think it can come out in terms of managing another person's experience and with like actual like therapy. But if that works for her, if that works for your mom, then that works. You know, my mom likes to gamble sometimes. My mom likes bath bombs and shit.
Gambling doesn't sound like something a shaman would do.
That would be like one of the bad things a shaman does before he learns to manage.
But in order to be a
addictions.
shaman, they have to get rid of all their bad things first, you said.
Yeah, that would be like one of the... Oh shit, is my computer fucking up? I think my computer froze. Can you hear me? Are you here? No, dude. Where is my...
Hello.
Hey, you're back.
Yeah, so what did you say after I said you had to be a shaman, you had to not do bad things?
Right, so essentially, like, this is one of the bad things the shaman initiate would do.
Oh yeah, but the shaman initiates aren't real shamans yet.
No, not yet. But it's like a thing. It's like they do become shamans if they go through the process correctly. So it's a process. It's a dangerous process. It actually is dangerous. I think it produces a lot of like lifelong problems because we don't actually know how to deal with this yet.
With what?
With shamanism, yeah, because we don't fucking know. It's like, oh, he has a fucking mental disease. Just fucking pump him full of drugs. It's like, no, you stop the experience in its tracks, and you don't allow it to get to its end. And so I think that happens with some people. But not all. Because certainly drugs...
So shamans have to get over some sort of mental illness all by themselves?
Either all by themselves or with help from, like, a teacher. Or someone who's done it before.
I don't think the mental illness is that simple. I don't think you...
not the entirety of mental illness, but shamanistic blackness is that simple. So if the mental illness is shamanistic blackness, then we can just close the loop with these people. But everybody gets mental illness. Everybody can get mental illness. Mm-hmm. And it's up to the shaman to help the people who can't help themselves.
I guess.
It's the tale as old as time. Like, priests did this with, like, confessions. We do it now with psychotherapy. We did it for a long time before this with shamanism itself. It just comes out in different ways. And I think we can get at it at its source. So
shamanism is just psychotherapy.
Shamanism is not just psychotherapy. It is psychotherapy. It is psychotherapy and experience and religion contained within a vessel. The vessel is shamanism. The vessel contains it. The vessel makes sure it doesn't spill out. Because you know what happened in the 60s? All the psychedelics spilled out. They were fucking everywhere. There was no vessel to contain them. You need the vessel. You need the ritual. You need the...
Why?
Because then, if you don't, then it spills out, and then everybody gets on drugs, and then everybody just fucking does drugs all the time. And, like, becomes hippies.
So?
And hippies aren't that productive. But I think that we can make... If these psychedelic drugs are contained in experiences guided by the shaman, I think that they can actually help us, not make us become useless hippies.
I don't think that all hippies are useless.
Not
I think a
all
lot
hippies.
of them had jobs. How else would they buy their drugs?
That makes sense. You know, I take back what I said. You know, hippies are fine, but I don't think we want drugs to, like, get that out of hand again, because the government banned them right after that, and so obviously there's something about that they didn't like. So if that happens again...
Well, the reason that they banned them was because they had no medical use.
That's just fucking retarded. It has no medical use, but it is medicine. It's brain medicine.
Well, they said they did a whole bunch of tests on LSD and psilocybin with Project MK Ultra.
Yeah, and that was for mind control.
Through all those tests, they found that there was no medical use, there was no practical use for it, there was no good use for it, and it just made people go crazy, so they banned it.
But they studied it for like 15 years, didn't they? They had to have gleaned something from it after that point, because they were doing it for a long time.
Hello?
I think we're probably out of sync. Or some shit. I don't fucking know. Oh, I know. Here we go.
There we go. So that's probably should be the end of the episode.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, we're experiencing technical difficulties.
No, yeah, that was happening the whole episode, though. You kept cutting out. But it's over half an hour.
Yes,
that's the reason why.
Yeah.
So. Do you have any last words on shamanic blackness?
Keep your eye out for it. Keep your eye out for shamanism, because I think it's going to be making a resurgence.
Okay, so this has been episode 34 of whatever the heck pirate podcast. What did we say it was going to be called?
The podcast pirates.
The podcast pirates.
Podcast pirates.
Episode 34 of the podcast pirates.
Yar.
We'll be back next week with the Pirate Book Club.
Yeah, dude. Pirate Book Club next week. Whoop whoop.
Yeah.
Whoop whoop. Okay. See you
Okay.
guys.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.